Well, hey there, everyone. It's GG Sober Sun. November 29th, 24-hour a day book reading, AA thought for the day. The AA way is the way of sobriety, and yet there are slips. Why do those slips occur? Why don't we all accept AA and stay sober from then on? There are many reasons, but it has been proved without exception that once we have become alcoholics, we can never drink successfully again, whatever successfully means. This has never been disproved by any case we know of. Many alcoholics have tried drinking after a period of sobriety from a few days to a few years, and no one that we know of has been successful in becoming a normal drinker. Could I be the only exception to this rule? I had a discussion with my brother-in-law, who's significantly, actually he's my mom's age, so 23, 24 years older than me, and this was fairly early on in my recovery. I would say, about 10 years sober. And, we're sitting on a porch swing, and which is reminiscent of my discussion I had with my dad on his porch swing as he was dying of cancer of the pancreas, about his drinking. But my brother-in-law said, he said, I went through a period where it was really rough. He said, I sat out over there on that dock with my gun in my hand, contemplating shooting myself. And he said, I said no. And I picked myself up and I got my life squared away. And he said, whatever caused you to drink the way you did, and he said, and I don't know how you drank, but he said, whatever caused you to drink like that, drink alcoholically, he said, I think you've solved that problem, and I think you could get away with it. You'd be fine if you started drinking again. And I was like, well, and basically he's trying to, well, I don't know what he was trying to do, but it seemed like he was kind of talking down to me, like trying to coach mentor type situation. And I was like, well, I appreciate that thought, fella, but I wouldn't give up what I've got for the possibility that I could drink again, quote unquote, successfully. And to me, successfully would be able to drink and not get drunk every time, to be able to drink and still keep a job, to be able to drink and make rational decisions, and I that's not how I drank. Why would it be any different in the future? The doctor's opinion talks about that sense of ease and comfort that comes after taking a few drinks. This sense of ease and comfort. But for me, the phenomenon of craving would kick in. And I would not just desire more, I couldn't help myself. I had to have more. And so, but the bigger reason for not experimenting or whether I could drink again is the possibility that I'm pretty sure I couldn't. But even if I wasn't pretty sure I couldn't, why would I trade the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous? The whole point is to chin up and aim up, right? Drinking again is not aiming up for me. It's just not. Aiming up for me is being in a fellowship of like-minded people that are aiming up. And that's whether that's the point or not. And I now know that that's the point, right? Whereas what got me in the door was that I was a hopeless state of mind and body because of the phenomenon of craving, because I was allergic to alcohol, and it wasn't just that. Like the reaction to alcohol, it was that the pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization that it talks about. The shame, fear, guilt, and remorse. Because of the problems that it talks about in the doctor's opinion as well. Had so many problems, he despaired of ever solving them. That was my condition. And I keep coming back because when I'm honest with myself, I know I'm a work in progress. When I'm honest with myself, I know I don't have it all together, even still. Even 30 plus years without a drink. Some of that is because I tried other things over that time. But I'm not going to try. I'm not going to experiment and go back to that stuff. Or take the possibility that I would go back to that. So, do I think I could be the only exception to this rule? No, I don't. And even if I thought that, why would I want to give up the life that I have? That's one of the reasons I reset my time, even though I didn't drink, but I smoked weed. And because I was avoiding AA, because I knew I was getting high. I wasn't coming to meetings high, but like I wouldn't go to late meetings, that's for sure, because I got high in the evenings. So but that's just me. I'm not saying it's necessary for everybody to do that, but I know that was a major setback in my recovery. Did it set me all the way back? Well, I at least have to play that game today. Will I always? I still have my sobriety date, my actual put the plug in the jug date, which was June the 8th of 1992. But where was my head when I experimented with medical marijuana that wasn't mine? That's the key. That's the key for me. Meditation for the day. Quote, "We are gathered together in thy name." End quote. First, we are gathered together, bound by a common loyalty to God and to each other. Then, when this condition has been fulfilled, God is present with us. Then, when God is there and one with us, we voice a common prayer. Then it follows that our prayer will be answered according to God's will. When our prayer is answered, we are bound together in a lasting fellowship of the Spirit. So, that sounds, my initial thought when it says we're bound by a common loyalty to God and to each other, that's not necessarily the case for everybody that's in AA or that definitely attends individual meetings. But in some cases, there are people who are, they're ambiguous about God. They just came to, because their problems were so much that they despaired of ever solving them, and they accepted that alcohol was causing a lot of the problems and definitely not helping. So we come alongside those people in our common loyalty, and my loyalty to God and to other alcoholics, right? And I lift their chin up. There's a great video clip of a basketball player, I think it was a college player, who did something, I can't remember what it was, but it was, he like missed a shot or something like that, right? So he was walking back down the basketball court to the other end. Maybe it was a timeout or something. And he had his chin like pinned to his upper chest. And his teammate comes over, a much smaller guy, and like grabs him by the chin and lifts his head up. And the little video, the meme or the caption said, be that guy, be that type of friend that lifts other people's chin up when they're so full of shame that they can't even lift their head. And that's the way a lot of people come into AA. And those are the people that I want to come alongside and let them know that they're loved regardless of what they've done, and that I want to lift their chin up and say, you're a child of God with infinite worth, and you can serve a purpose in this world. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be loyal to God and to others. I pray that my life today may be lived close to His and to theirs. Yeah. And again, that's where the hurting people are. And I believe in my faith journey constantly points to Jesus. And Jesus was a rabbi. Okay? He was a Jewish rabbi. And the rabbis of that day were focused on the law. They were focused on do good, get good, do bad, get bad. And the people in that society who knew they weren't good, who knew they had failed, and were acting accordingly, those are the people he went to. And so we got to come alongside those people. We don't have to, but if that's my target, if Jesus is my target, and He is, then I want a relationship, first of all, with Him. I want to spend time with Him to do what He do, to do what He does, And so that has to be my aim. So, chin up, aim up. We'll all help you rise up. Love you. Keep coming back.